Welcome, family and friends, ladies and gents, dudes and chicks, to what else? Maria loves to talk, and I have a great video for you guys. I hope everybody's doing great, that you had a great day. You've been out there with your family, I don't know, in the mall, maybe out to eat, walking your dogs, enjoying, you know, your little kitty cats. So what am I talking about? Crime, relationships. Moving on. I don't know what's going on with these kids these days. I don't. Madison Brooks, cause of death revealed. Witnesses Everett Lee and Kason Carver released. This is January 26th. This has just happened. 4 male suspects have been arrested in the RAP of a Louisiana LSU University sorority member. Several of my cousins graduated from there.
Suspects accused of raping LSU student Madison Brooks, who was later hit and killed by a car, appear in court. An attorney for 2 of the men claimed there is video proving Brooks was drunk, but not to the point where she was not able to consent. Devastated loved ones, including our next guest, are remembering her as a kind soul. Ashley Odak joins us now. Ashley, so great to have you on. I'm so sorry it's under such terrible circumstances. I want to talk a little bit about what happened to her, but before I do, I want to know from you what she was like.
So in high school, I had the advantage of going with Maddie, and she was amazing. She really left me in this world with one thing, that kindness and love is always the answer, no matter what. And I remember in high school it was really hard, and I met her in the bathroom because she was just this gorgeous girl. She was so beautiful. And I remember walking up to her in the bathroom and I was like, "You are so beautiful." And she was so nice to me, so welcoming. And she was a year older than me, and normal people would be like, you know, like, "Thank you," like, that's all. Maddie was so nice. She decided to, at football games, she would come get me from the student section, and we'd go dance with each other at the football games and everything. And then we went to, in those pictures you have, we went to Coretta's. And she was just all around a nice person. Like, I was going through the hardest times where I felt bullied and everything, and she showed me love in like a way nobody else could.
Yeah.
And that's how I want her to be remembered. I want her to be remembered for the girl that she was. She was the nicest soul. Still is.
Yeah, I mean, she does seem like a wonderful girl. I saw some of her Instagram pictures with her family. She has 2 younger brothers. She's very close to her parents, are wonderful. And it just seems like she was a real family-oriented girl. It is tragic what happened to her. One of the things that surprises me as a mom is that she didn't have friends with her, that she got into this vehicle with these men that she apparently didn't know very well. And yet she was in a sorority. Where were her sorority sisters? Where were her friends? Does it shock you? Are you surprised that she did not have friends with her when she was out drinking like that? At least at the end of the night?
Yeah, it does shock me, but I want to make it about Maddie and what she was like when she was here by the time.
Mama's parents, pretty girl, Madison Brooks. She kind of looked like the girls from the Idaho 4. Brooks, a 19-year-old sophomore who was allegedly RAP in the backseat of a car by Washington. He's the little dude with the white, blonde, dyed hair, looking like let me just be quiet. Was allegedly RAP in the back seat. And the 17-year-old, after the group left Reggie's bar in East Baton Rouge, sometime between 1 and 2 a.m. Now, they said that Reggie's bar has been in trouble, allegedly. First out there serving drinks and stuff to these underage kids or whatnot. After the alleged assault, the group of men dropped Brooks off at a nearby subdivision when she indicated she was going to call an Uber. She was soon struck by a rideshare vehicle on Burbank Drive.
Friends, I'm Greg Merriweather. We're going to start with that video outside of Reggie's bar in Tigerland, showing the moments between Madison Brooks and the 4 men she was hanging out with on the night in question. Investigators have said Madison Brooks, who's underage, was drinking with other underage men at Reggie's bar. Our Lester Dewey is here to break it all down for us. Lester.
Greg, Madison Brooks died just days later in the hospital after being hit by that car on Burbank Drive. A new video obtained by WAFB shines a light on some of her last moments before that accident and before she was allegedly sexually assaulted. This surveillance video was captured at around 1:50 in the morning on Sunday, January 15th. The footage points towards Reggie's bar. If you take a good look at the video, it first shows 4 people walk across the street towards a parking lot. Sources tell us the next person you see running across the screen there to meet up with the 4 guys is LSU student Madison Brooks. Ron Haley is representing 2 of the men facing charges.
The 4 gentlemen that had been charged were going to the car, and depending on how you read it, we either followed by the deceased or the deceased was accompanying him to the car. She willfully got into the car, said that her rides had left her, and got in.
Investigators say Madison Brooks left Reggie's bar that night with those 4 guys she had just met at the bar. Investigators have also said that Madison Brooks was too drunk to later give consent to having sex shortly after this video. In the video, Madison Brooks is seen walking with the 4 men across another parking lot.
After that point in time, there was consensual sexual acts done in that car with her and 2 other individuals at 2 separate times.
Moments after the alleged sexual assault, investigators say the men dropped her off. Shortly thereafter, she was hit by a car on Burbank Drive.
This was not, hey, I'm going to take you out the car, put you out, you stumble onto Burbank, and this happens. That's not what happened in this case.
Attorney Ron Haley says he has other video proof which could acquit his 2 clients of the rape charges. Madison Brooks' alcohol level when she went to the hospital was nearly 4 times the legal limit. Meanwhile, because arrest documents say everyone involved in this encounter was drinking at Reggie's, the bar had its liquor license suspended. In a statement from Reggie's, it says the owner of Reggie's has fully cooperated with the East Baton Rouge Parish Sheriff's Office, Louisiana State Police, and the East Baton Rouge ABC office since their first request for assistance in their ongoing investigations, and will continue to do so. We look forward to meeting with state ATC and East Baton Rouge ABC officials as soon as possible to address their concerns and to ensure they have all the complete and accurate facts and all information they require to complete their investigation.
But they also have to remember that it is not a right but a privilege to have a license. And when you do that, you are taking on the responsibility of obeying the law.
While the local ABC board did not take any action tonight, Councilwoman Denise Amoroso says something needs to be done, including possibly increasing the fines on bars for underage drinking.
That would definitely be my recommendation. You know, when you're looking at a $500 fine, it's nothing, you know, compared to some of these bars and what some of these bars make.
You can see that full surveillance video right now on our 9 News app.
You know, I got a mouthful to say, and I'm not going to go in too deep. Where was the sorority sisters? Why was she out there by herself at Reggie's drinking? I saw earlier on Inside Edition, they was saying something about it was consensual. I'm getting kind of tired of the BS from the toxic masculinity males, the little wild vermin heathen who think that, if a woman is drinking, if she's drunk, if she's by herself, if she's half dressed or whatever, she's free for all. You know, it's a buffet or whatever y'all call it. I don't know. You know what you're doing is wrong. Don't tell me that she took a ride from them thinking that they were going to take her home. This girl had no intention on having any kind of you-know-what with these little heathens. And I'm going to really keep it real with these little ugly heathens at that. Okay. I don't believe it. And when are we going to teach our young men? Are you teaching your young men? How many of you have young teens, young preteen boys? Are you teaching your young men no means no? Are you teaching your young men that you don't take advantage of a damsel in distress. Okay, so what? She was drunk. She was pissy drunk. Yeah, okay. But that doesn't give you the right to take advantage of somebody. If you knew that you wasn't going to take this girl home, one of her classmates, you girls don't be out there. But hey, I'm not Beyonce. I'm not Janet Jackson. I'm not Carrie Underwood. I'm not Pink. I'm not Taylor Swift or whoever y'all look up to. Because some of y'all, yeah, I'm going there. Y'all don't even listen to your own mammy. You don't listen to your mama, papa, auntie, nana, nana, or however you say it. You cannot be out there by yourself in a club or whatever, drinking, pissy drunk, with dudes you don't know, accepting rides from somebody you don't know. You can't even do it sometimes with people that you do know. You know, I share with y'all the story about this girl. This has been a couple of years ago when I had went to Chase Bank because my niece worked at a Chase Bank near the house. And I was telling the young lady that was doing my money, that my niece, what Chase she worked at. And she said, oh, yeah, I know. And then she was telling me about a girl at another Chase that had went out with some dudes from the bank. They were all buddies, at least she thought they were her buddies. And they got her drunk, took her back to their apartment or whatever, and they allegedly molested her. And I believe I do remember it being on the news. So you can't even trust your so-called dude friends. It's sad. Prayers go out to this young lady, that her family get justice. I hate to see this happen to these young boys, but somebody should have said, hey man, because it's 4. You mean out of 4 young men and you got one that's 28, you couldn't tell these guys, leave this girl alone. Put your pants up. Leave this girl alone. Let's take this girl home and let's let somebody make sure they know we're taking her home and that she's safe. You 28, dude. You should have had some kind of accountability. Prayers go out. Sad, but yeah, Reggie's will be sued. They're going to sue Reggie's and those boys. And again, we're not teaching our kids, our young boys, because now I'm really fixing to go in. You're in Baton Rouge. I don't know if people still watching Miss Jane Pittman or looking at the movie, but everybody, I wouldn't even say the young white kids or non-black kids should be watching that movie. And if you're a young black boy, a young teen, or even a black male, you should already know that all the lynchings and whatnot that happened to black men who didn't even do anything, who just maybe looked or maybe said hi or and they got lynched, castrated, burnt. And let me be quiet. Let me stop. Let me not go there. I'm really upset. And we have talked to my nephews. No means no. Whether the woman is drinking, whether it means she done took all her clothes off and she just decided after she looked at your package and said, I didn't tell them like that, you guys. She said, no, I don't want to. It's no, move on. And who wants someone who's drunk, pissy drunk, they don't know what in the world is going on? What kind of man? Well, of course, we see they're not a man. They're just, losers, diabolical animals, basically. Moving on. 36-year-old woman accused of using romance scam to swindle $2.8 million from elderly Holocaust survivor. This chick name is Peaches. Don't y'all get me because I'm fixing to say something I always see. And yes, you guys, I'm a big girl. And I will be trying to lose some weight. I might try to get on that Wegovy that I saw Cheryl Under was talking about. But I don't know why everybody I see named Peaches is always obese and overweight. This chick looks just like Freewheeling. Okay, so her name is Peaches Stergo of Champions Gate, Florida, is charged with one count of wire fraud after defrauding a Manhattan man of his life savings.
A Florida woman is facing federal charges after prosecutors say she swindled an 87-year-old Holocaust survivor out of nearly $3 million. The man met 36-year-old Peaches Stergo, also known as Alice, on a dating website several years ago. She used a variety of excuses to get him to send her money, always with the promise that she would pay him back. Now, instead, we're told she used that money to buy a home in a gated community, a condo, a boat, and several cars, including a Corvette. By the time the man admitted to his son what he had done, he had given her his entire life savings.
Grandpa, you should have known better. You old men, you know, ain't this young woman, one with nobody about 100 years old. Where was his kids at? So this man is 87. He had $3 million. How did she know he had that type of money? Wow, you guys. Okay, so here they says alleged coercing millions from an unnamed man from 2017 and 2021. The defendant callously preyed on a senior citizen simply seeking companionship, defrauding him of his life savings. Michael J. Driscoll, the assistant director in charge of the FBI New York field office, said, announcing the charge to CNN. Stergo, who also goes by the name Alice, met the man on a dating website about 6 or 7 years ago, according to the indictment. Wow, I wonder what website that was. No. Oh, Lordy, this is ridiculous. Stergo told the victim that she had settled a lawsuit involving injuries in a car accident, but her lawyer would not release the settlement funds until he received a certain amount of money. In May 2017, bank records show the victim wrote his first check to Stergo for $25,000. What you're telling him don't even make sense. From the moment on, Stergo induced the man to write almost monthly checks, often in increments of $50,000. I'm just keeping it real. I don't see nobody that looks like Carrie Underwood, Charlize Theron, Sharon Stone. I don't see no Beyonce here when I look at this chick. I don't see no Duchess Meghan Markle. Once each week was deposited, the woman told the victim that her bank needed more money or else her account would be frozen and the victim would not be paid back. In October 2021, the man told his son about the arrangements, at which point he stopped sending money. Really, Grandpa? You finally told your son. In October 2021, the man told his son, Alice, the defendant, was motivated to engage in the fraud scheme to enrich herself. She has lived a life of luxury with the millions she received from the fraud. Well, I see she didn't get no Jenny Craig, no Slim Fast, no Dr. Akins. Yeah, I went there. No Sobello. She bought a home in a gated community, a condominium, a boat, and numerous cars, including a Corvette and a Suburban. Are you kidding me? During the course of the fraud, Stergo also took expensive trips, staying at places like the Ritz-Carlton, and spent many tens of thousands of dollars on expensive meals, gold coins and bars, jewelry, Rolex watches, and designer clothing from stores like Tiffany, Ralph Lauren, Neiman Marcus, Louis Vuitton, Hermes. It continues. The victim lost his life savings and was forced to give up his apartment as a result of the indictment. She needs her butt whipped. She needs her fat butt whipped, kicked, and everything else. That's why I said, you guys. So, hey, you guys, tell me, how did I do? Which story stands out? Which story stands out? Which story's like, ooh, you know? Leave me those comments. Don't you let yourself get scammed by a romance scammer. Don't be on that internet trying to find you a little lover boy, a little lover girl. And also, do not be out there by yourself at night or even in the daytime, drinking, getting pissy drunk. Make sure you have a friend or a buddy with you that you trust and who is not also drinking. So again, I want to thank you for joining me, and Maria Loves to Talk. Stay healthy, happy, and blessed.